Well, March didn't go quite as planned reading-wise, busyness levels-wise, so we are here today to do our March reading wrap-up, and it'll be maybe fairly quickly. We'll go through it quickly because while I enjoyed what I read and had a good time through the process, there was not a large number of books. And not at all. And if you caught my March TBR last month, you'll be like, well, there was a fair amount of options. I'm Morgan though. If this happens to be your first time here, I hope you enjoy it. You let me know if you have read any of these or some of the ones that I didn't get to, and we'll stick around for more stuffs. The stats for last month. We started 5 books. We finished 3 books. That's right, we finished 3 books. Out of them, 1 was only, well, ebook, not physical, ebook, and 2 were physical audio mixed. And even with that, and all 3 of them though were 4 stars. So that's pretty impressive. For the books that I didn't get to that were on the TBR, the first one would be An Easy Death by Charlene Harris. Yes, it is carried over to April. The 4th time will be the charm because this is going to fill in for one of my class prompts that I don't remember which class right now. And it's so short and I don't know why I still haven't started it. So for the 3rd month in a row, it's going to another TBR. The next one that was on the maybe TBR but didn't get to happen would be Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook by Matt Dittman. That was book 3. I'd really hoped to that way I keep doing one a month, but I was, a little timider after book 2. So this has also gotten pushed off. Maybe we get back to Dungeon Crawler Carl in May. I want to. April though, I don't see it happening in April. Then there's the books that I started that I didn't finish. We'll go ahead and talk about them before the books that I did finish. The first one is actually that I started in February, and I think I only read a chapter in March. So bad. That's Cat's People by Tanya Guerrero. It actually came out today, April 1st, that I'm filming it, and I'm hoping to be able to get the audiobook through the library, or maybe I'll just use a credit on Everend, even though I really am not happy with the way their system is working, to be able to actually listen to the audiobook now that it's come out, since I still did not get to my arc before it came out. And I feel bad because it seems like it'll be a good, decent book. It just does deal with emotions. That sounds bad that I can't read a book that deals. It was not the right time, and also busyness ensued. The next book I started would be an audiobook, and that's Funny Story by Emily Henry. And I was laughing at this so much. I liked it. This is probably going to end up being maybe my 2nd favorite after Book Lovers, but I'm just listening to it when I had time. And I only have an hour left of the audiobook. That's what's so bad about not finishing it in March. I have an hour left, but I kept not listening to it and instead throwing on booktube videos for people's TBRs and such while doing chores the past few days, because I didn't want to finish this funny story before the next one I'm going to talk about, because I wanted to fully focus on Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I have 60 pages left at this point. So with both of those books, I was so close, but there was just not enough time in the day over the last few days to get it finished. And I was so sad. I could have read a little bit more last night, but it was such a good point to actually stop at, so I did. For the books that I actually did finish, the first one of the month was not supposed to be the first book of the month, but the audio hold that I'd been waiting on for months from the library finally came up right before the beginning of March, and that would be Holly Black's Prisoner's Throne. This is the end of the Stolen Heir duology, which takes place in her Elfhame realm that started all the way back with the modern fairy tales. Tithe, I want to say the Tithe duology, but it's kind of a trilogy, but it only actually 2 books follow those actual characters. And then there's Valorant, that's not the point. But she's been writing in this world for a very long time. It is a fairy series, and I love the way she does the fairies. I do. These books though, this duology, is following Prince Oak and Lady Surin from the Court of Teeth. It takes place about 10 years after the Folk of the Air trilogy. That's everybody's favorite card in Juden. This one is particularly though, is from Oak's perspective. As far as I can remember, as I think about each of the books, this is the first and only book that she has written in this world from a male perspective. And I don't know if that is what put it off a little bit. I don't think so. I just think it's the way it was a lot of thinking. There was a lot of Oak thinking about things, how to do this. And maybe if there had been a little more communication with his sisters and his family, things wouldn't have gone down that way. I will say that he did try to communicate to Surin after, the events of book 1, but he'd kind of already ruined her trust in him. So she didn't want to believe hardly anything he said. Overall, it was still, the 4 stars. I said everything I did complete was 4 stars, but it just wasn't the same. And it drug on a little bit. It could have been a higher than 4 stars if maybe there was a little bit more actiony and a little less talking, thinking. I don't know. It drug for me. While reading it, it kind of drug. And, well, listening to it. I listened to it because my book is white and I didn't want to touch it with my own hands. For each of the books that I did complete this month, though, I do have a quote from each of them that I wanted to give you. This one was, Oak desperately wants to stop Carden from talking, but short of kicking him or throwing something at his head, he has no idea how. Because yes, Carden and Jude show up. And I did not like part of it, the animosity there. The next one that took up over half the month, I feel like, just with this one book alone, which yes, it is chunky, but still, I had the audio companion and Death's End by Shizhen Liu, the conclusion of the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy, 700 plus pages, and this is possibly another one that we could have had a little bit less of things. I did the review, finally got the spoiler vlog up too. That came up much later than it should have. It took a while to edit that, because that one's really spoilery. Like really, I kept babbling. Okay. The quote for this one, though, is, "These were the final beats of the heart of history, the final steps taken toward the terminal point." This one, though, we are following a different character than the other 2 books in the series. And also, in this one, it goes back all the way to year 1 of the crisis, and then we go forward from this character's POV. Similar to the first book, we are only mostly with this one character. We get some outside POVs at different points, like we get some in space again, or, what to say, this is not a spoiler. Did we know about hibernation in the first book? I don't think we did. But while there's hibernation happening to our main character, you will sometimes see from other points of view at that point as well, to fill in what's happening while she's hibernating asleep. So we go from year 1 all the way to far, far future. Have some issues with our main character in this one, as while she was an intelligent scientist, all of her thoughts, or not all of her thoughts, but all of the actions, the critical actions she needed to take, one was split, spur of the moment, got it. The others, though, it still seemed that she went in a didn't think it through kind of manner. Even though at least one time they really tried to show her everything so she could make an informed decision. And yet, end was not the kind that I prefer. While I do see the symbolisms of it. I do, but I can't with those sorts of endings. I can't. I liked so much of the topics that we talked about in this book, though. I had such a good time actually reading it. Like, that's why it ended up being 4 stars, because I had so much fun actually reading it. Just not liking the ending, not liking our main character decision points, or it seems actually unfair that she is the one that gets to that point. After all of her decisions, that she's still the one. And as I said, the full review, spoiler vlog, all of that's up now if you want more of my takes and information on that one. The next one up would be A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the sequel to The Tainted Cup in the Shadow of the Leviathan series. Still enjoyed it very much. Anna Dolabara, who is our detective, and she is a trip. She's not our main character though. The main character is still Dinios Cole, her engraver assistant. In this fantasy world, they use fungal and leviathan, which are these giant scary creatures that come out of the ocean, blood to make alterations to human bodies, to make contraptions, that's not the right word, to make things though in their empire. So we have this odd sciencey sort of situation. And it's very interesting, and you actually get to go in this one. We travel to another part of their world, so you get more explanation about how the Empire works in this other location. This is not exactly part of the Empire, so you get to see all these various things, and we get more world-building backstory of the people who came before that founded the Empire, though I find it interesting because before they did not sound like they were. I'm not going to go there, but in this one, Din and Anna have been called to the Kingdom of Yarrow, which is not quite a canton yet. I really don't know where I was before the very long interruption of the dog next door. But in this one, Din and Anna have had to travel to the Kingdom of Yarrow, which is not quite a part of the Empire, because a treasury official there to do negotiations and finalizations, he goes missing from inside his room that had a guard on the outside. Completely missing. And so of course they call in the great Anna Dolbara to solve the case. This one you get to find out a little bit more about Anna. You get, as I said, get to find out more about these other race of peoples. You get to actually go to the place where they get the materials for all the alterations that they do and create in the Empire. It is called the Shroud. It is very interesting, and you get to find out more things that have been created with these fungi. My favorite quote from this one, which I was hoping that the library would have gotten their copy in so I could make sure it was in the final version, was, "This is not a thread, but just physics. When defied, she breaks things." So for March, our reading plans did not go quite as expected, and things, while all good, we'll use this as a placeholder. I got it down because it's, the first book. So there were a little bit of things that was slightly off on them, But overall, still really good. They just took a very long time, and I greatly was enjoying the book at the end of the month. So much fun with it. Just no time to actually sit down and read it. And yeah. I hope your March went really good though. I would like to know how it turned out, what you read. Did you participate in Realmathon last month? Are you doing the Magical Readathon this month, April? The books were good, books were mid, or you took it easy on yourself last month to prepare. I just hope whatever you were reading that it did turn out really good, that you enjoyed this video. You might give a thumbs up and a little book emoji if you made it all the way to the end and you don't have anything you want to say. I hope you're having a great day though, that you're finding something good to read, and I will see you in the next one.